Right, waiting at the Hobbs is a man behind the award-winning Tanner's restaurant in Plymouth. It's the aptly named Mr. James Tanner.
Hiya.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks yourself.
And on the menu is?
We've got honey and five spice, glazed duck breast.
Yep.
Wild garlic gnocchi with a orange caramel sauce.
OK, now I know you want to get started on this one.
Yes, please, yeah.
I'm going to give the jobs to Mark and Francis
yes,
over
broad
there.
beans, guys. Can you pop my broad beans?
There's no such thing as a free lunch, Francis, on this show. You know, you've got to do something.
Do I?
You yeah, you pop in the broad beans. You want me to make the gnocchi, yeah?
Yeah, so we've got some king egg wedge potatoes.
Yeah.
They've been baked in their skin and for about 45 minutes to an hour, obviously depending on the size.
Yeah.
The idea is they've got a wonderful fluffiness to them. They're not too waxy. That's why I'm using them.
OK. And then you need one of these rices, don't you, really?
Yeah.
It's key to mashed potato as well as this is to get it nice and fine.
Exactly, you get a nice thin grain. While you're doing that, you're going to add an egg yolk to it, a touch of flour as well.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And then I'm going to saute you off a touch of wild garlic.
Now, wild garlic's, the season's running for about another 3 weeks now.
Yes, very, very good, in abundance. It's got a wonderful, subtle flavour. If you don't like garlic or you don't like that strong flavour, it hasn't got that really harsh taste. I just think it's lovely and subtle. I'm treating it like spinach here. A touch of unsalted butter in the pan, a pinch of sea salt, wilt it down.
But we saw Rick going foraging for food. This is kind of the ultimate foraging food, I reckon.
Very much so.
You don't have to do much with it, really.
Not
just
at all.
Put it in butter as well. It freezes well. And
so there's that for you.
Yeah.
I'm just draining off the excess fats, OK? That's why I'm putting it on this clean towel, obviously. Right, now, while you're mixing all of that for me, which is fantastic, let's talk about this. So we've got some duck breast here, OK? I like to use Creedy Carver ducks, very nice. North Devon, my part of the world's really good. Gresham's good.
Yeah.
Aylesbury, that kind of thing. The sinew's been removed from the duck underneath and the small fillet. There's usually a small fillet that runs along here.
Right.
We've got the flesh of the duck underneath and obviously the skin. We're just going to score very, very lightly.
It's a good tip to remove that little sinew out, isn't it, really, because it shrinks.
If you don't, when you cook it, it will curl up on you, and you don't want that. No oil, straight into a non-stick pan.
Right.
Now, obviously, get rid of the board and the knife that I use with the raw meat. Wash my hands off.
Right, this is the gnocchi. We've got an egg yolk going in there.
Yep.
The wild garlic and flour. Bit of salt and pepper.
Great
that's
stuff.
that one.
OK, cool. Right, so I'm just going to wipe out the pan. This is what we're going to use for a gnocchi in a moment, James, once...
now, like I cooked that fish
it.
earlier, the sea bass earlier, you're just basically going to cook that one side, rendering the fat, really.
Indeed. So the idea is there's lots of ways to cook duck, but you render the fat so it's not too greasy, and you can cook it in a pan, and you can just cook it basically 3/4 of the way through in the pan, then flip it and turn it. If you don't want to do that, then all you can do is at home is do what I'm doing now. We're just going to render it down, take off some of the excess fats, and then we're going to use the oven to roast it for around about 8 to 10 minutes, and then it's very important with all your meats, obviously, as we know, and I know you guys will say, let it rest up. Yeah. OK, so we're going to serve this with an orange caramel sauce. It's got a touch of lime in there as well. Yeah. I'm removing the zests, the skin off half the orange and half of the lime. And I know it sounds a bit weird, but this is a bittersweet sauce. It's classic sauce citronelle is the old saying for it. But I'm just getting the pan to a high heat.
It's no classic French sauce, isn't it? Really,
very much so. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just going to grab. We've got a set of tongs kicking around. Yep. There you go. Right. So let's have a quick look at this duck.
How are we doing with the beans?
Nearly done.
Nearly done.
So I'm just taking off the excess fat. Keep the duck on the skin, and on this occasion, as I said before, straight into a nice hot oven, OK? Right. Skin side down, cook it all the way on the skin side, turn it, rest it, and it's good to go.
Right, OK.
Right, so here we got a duck rested. This is at room temperature.
How long's that had, then?
8 to 10 minutes.
Right.
OK? How's your gnocchi looking, Chef?
It's getting there.
Come on, Tiger. We've got to get it in that bowl of water, this boiling water now as well. While you're doing that, I deliberately got a hot pan pre-ready to go, and we're going to do this wonderful sauce, which is one of my favourites, OK, and works so well with duck and also the subtleness of the garlic. And it's as simple as this.
Now, your restaurant has been running, what, 13 years? 13 years you've been running
Tanner's, 13 years this year. I just think it's the best it's ever been in the 13 years now. I had a lovely refit myself and Chris came up with. I love that design thing. Here's the sugar that we've got going in there. We get the oil from the citrus in the pan, then straight away deglaze with orange, half a lime, touch of red wine.
Beans.
There you go.
you very much.
And we just let this cook down, but you get this bittersweet taste. It's gorgeous. And then onto that, we've got to get some stock. Can you pass me a spoon for that? That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. OK, now, yeah, so anyway, with Tanner's, yeah, 13 years, and we've got the Barbican Kitchen Brasserie, which is 6 years old this year as well, so brilliant stuff. OK, right, now with the sauce, James, keep that heat high, let it reduce. You've got some butter in a pan, and you've got the gnocchi, which we just blanched. When it comes up to the top, that's when you know it's ready. Straight in there, and also some of the rendered duck fat, yeah?
Right.
In that goes as well. Just a tiny bit of colour, and then we're going to season it up, obviously. The sauce, we just keep bubbling, let it reduce, OK? Now, also, we've got here, with our old duck pan, touch of honey, not too much. Literally, that's a tablespoonful.
Where do you want the beans? Do you want the beans in the pan?
The beans, the broad beans, yeah, drop them in, thanks, yeah. OK. Touch of fire spice, touch of honey. Not too much, and I know you're thinking, oh, it's going to be really over-sweet, but because this is more bittersweet, it really works well, I think, with the garlic and everything else. OK.
Right.
So you just cook the spice out in the pan, which has a bit of the duck fat in it, touch the honey, let it bubble, 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 OK? Now, with the duck, this is at room temp at the moment. We get that hot glaze.
There's your little gnocchi.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Now, as well as celebrating
Over the
in
top.
the restaurant, but you're also celebrating... It's 10 years this year in television, is it?
Yeah, 10 years. I'm quite proud of that. I can't believe it. Where's that time gone, James, huh?
10 years.
Well, you know, back in the day, when I started, yeah, you were... you know, you were one of the guys we used to cook against on Ready Steady Cook days.
Then, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Do you remember the first words you said on television?
Honestly, no. I
Mine
can't.
is so embarrassing. It was with Zig and Zag. You don't remember Zig and
Yeah,
Zag?
of course I remember
Zig and Zag. And they asked me how old I was, and I went 22 and a half. Embarrassment. I just wanted to, yeah. Not good.
Should we move on to
Yes,
the sauce?
moving on. Go on
Yeah?
then.
All right, OK.
What do I
now,
do with these beans?
in a moment, calm down, Chef.
They're
Right.
ready, Chef.
OK, if you could just hold them, get them out, yeah? Right, now, look, with the sauce, this is
Hold them?
optional. I'm going to montate it with a bit of butter. This just adds a gloss, richness to it as well.
Right.
Really nice. OK, so you just use the heat of the pan to let the butter melt in. Can you pour something duck juices?
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, I'll take, yeah.
Yeah, over that.
Right, there you go.
Great stuff.
30 seconds.
Now, beans go into that sauce. Here
Beans
we go.
go in the sauce.
Yep.
Right.
Here we go with the gnocchis. A few pieces of that. I'm going to carve the duck. I've got a few orange pieces, which are cold orange, but a lovely flavour because you get that lovely fresh orange zing. Nice thin slices of the duck. And we've got a bit of that creaminess of the fat, but it's still very crisp on the top and created a wonderful glaze. James, if you could pick off some of your watercress pieces.
Yeah, some of my watercress. This was picked yesterday. I picked this.
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Get it on the plate then, Chef. It'd be even better. Right. OK. Some orange pieces. And then a touch of... Oh, no. Come on, don't ruin it now, man. OK. One more bit, thanks. Broad beans and wild garlic flowers have got a very, very strong flavour to them, but we're not just going to put the whole flowers on. A little scattering of the petals, a tiny bit of this sauce, because it is strong, guys, it's meant to be. A little flicker of these lovely pungent flowers, and there you have it. That's roast duck breast with a lovely glaze, wild garlic gnocchi, caramel and orange.
Done.
James, with your contemporary take on duck à l'orange, I've got to choose a red wine, but I've got to pick quite carefully because of some of the ingredients in the dish. Now, if I were in an Italian mood, I might choose something like this great value Chianti. But the wine I've got is more unusual and it works even better with the sweetness in the dish. And it's the 2011 Palatia Pinot Noir from Germany. If your image of German wine is white and mostly sweet, you might be surprised to hear that the country is the third biggest producer of Pinot Noir in the world. It actually makes more of the grape than New Zealand and Australia combined. More to the point, the best ones, like this one, are absolutely fantastic. On the nose, got some cherry, red berries and just a hint of oak. On the palate, This is supple, juicy and fragrant, with a perfume picking up on that lovely wild garlic. The impression of sweetness here works really nicely with the orange and the caramel, and the wine's got enough concentration to partner the texture of the duck. James, this is like a mini red Burgundy, but at half the price. Auf Wiedersehen, Pet.